All right, so The Turning. Let me take a deep breath because there's a lot to say about this movie, but I'm going to try to keep it short and sweet because I don't want to waste any of your time talking about this movie. Okay. Let me just preface with the fact that when this trailer first dropped, like before other movies months ago, I was the only one in my group of friends that was like, that movie looks terrible. It looks creepily shot. Creepily, I can't talk. It looks creepy. It looks creepily shot, but it just looks like a bad movie. So I had really no interest of seeing it, and it's a red flag because it was coming out in January. And so, but of course, you know me. I love horror. I have to check it out. I'm here to report the news. I'm saving you money. You're welcome. Anyway, so yeah, I went to go see this movie with a friend of mine who we both love horror, and she's read the book that this movie is based on. This is a film adaptation of The Turn of the Screw, which I knew nothing about. I still don't really know a lot about it. So I went into this movie very blind, just only what I saw from the trailer from this film, and nothing more. So just to give you a little bit of an idea, this is about a woman named Kate. I already forgot her name. I think that's her name in the movie. Mackenzie Davis, the actress who plays her, gets hired as a nanny slash teacher to preside over these children. They've lost their parents, so she's kind of helping with staff. There's like a housekeeper, and that's the only other part of the staff that we see. And she basically helps them, and this movie just from there goes nowhere. It's a bunch of scenes that keep like leading us to believe that something bigger is about to happen, and then boom, nothing happens. There's an air of mystery just kind of waving throughout this entire film, and it leads us to nothing. Now, understand this. I am somebody who is okay with ambiguity. I like having to interpret movies for myself. But this movie only teases. It doesn't give us anything to chew on. It gives us nothing to think about. There is no exposition. Like everything that happens never gets explained as to why. And it's extremely frustrating because every time you want to assume something is going on, nothing at all. Everything is building up, and then everything just kind of like, okay, that just happened. There's a lot of horror cliches, so many tropes that are happening, creaky noises down the hall, ghosts being reflected in mirrors, and again, you think, what is that going to lead to? And nothing gets explained. It was just, I think it's an hour and a half, but it felt like a 2.5 hour movie of just nonsense. Oh my god. And the acting in this movie, it's like, okay. Mackenzie Davis is okay. Finn Wolfhard is kind of, at this point, who I think is a fine child actor, but he's kind of been recycled to be just this one look, and I'm kind of over it. So I wish they would give him something else to do. And the little girl, I love her because she was in the Florida Project, so she's fine. She's a child. She's doing the best she can with what she has. I think the standout role here is the housekeeper, the woman who plays her. I don't know her name. I should look that up. I don't know her name, but she does a terrific job because she's that creepy old woman that's always in a horror movie. She does well with what she's given as well. I can't stop saying as well. Anyway, this movie's just really bad. That's really all I have to say. And the ending. If you see this movie, please comment below what your interpretation of the ending was. I'm safely going to assume that you will not be able to put it together because it doesn't make any goddamn sense. This movie legit just ends, and you're just like, what? The movie felt like there were 3 endings, like maybe they were going through in the editor's room with alternate endings, and they just decided to give us the 3 because they didn't know which one to choose. That's kind of what this movie does. That's not really a spoiler. If it is, I'm sorry, but I had to give you something to think about. This gives us nothing at all. I will say what I liked, aside from somewhat of the decent acting, I thought the movie was visually pretty. Like, it has that gothic imagery that's really fun to see. Sometimes it's stuff we've seen before, but that's the only thing I can give this film credit. This movie's an embarrassment. I'm really embarrassed for the people in this movie because, I'm assuming the source material of which this movie is based on is really good, but they didn't know what to do with it. It's very sloppy. And once again, because it's out in January, that's just a really big sign, is that this movie was going to be doomed from the start. It's called The Turning, but I think we should call it The Turn It Off, because it's pretty dumb. Turn around and go watch something else. Honestly, watch Like a Boss over this. I would recommend you see Like a Boss over this. Oh my god. Yeah, that's my review. I believe Netflix is coming out with this same story later this year from the people who did The Haunting of Hill House. This will be the story's focus for the second season in that anthology series, so I'm actually excited to check it out when it drops then. But for this as a standalone movie, this was just terrible. Don't watch it. It's an embarrassment. Don't even see it when it's on Netflix or wherever you find it later. Just skip it. Just avoid it at all costs. Trust me, I'm saving you the time. Yeah, that's my review. Comment on this video if you liked it. Tell me your thoughts of the movie if you've seen it, which I'm sorry that you had to sit through it as well. And let's talk about it, because it is something worth chatting about, even if it is just to laugh at it. Yeah. That's my review in a nutshell, even though this is now 6 minutes long. But I could have gone on for hours, but I don't want to even have to get into thinking about this movie because it was just trash. Yeah, don't see it. Thanks, guys.